Hey there, how y'all doing today? I'm out for a little practice hike at Big Rock Forest Preserve here in Kane County, Illinois, and thought I'd bring you along and talk a little bit about my training plans for this year. I'm going to flip the camera around now so you can see where I'm going instead of me, but I did want to say howdy. Hope your year is getting off to a good start. I do have a plan for training, so I thought I'd share that in case folks are interested, and also to keep myself accountable and on schedule. It is a pretty day out today, isn't it? Sun is up, it's in the upper 30s, lower 40s. The snow that was all over these trails just a couple of weeks ago has melted off, as you can see. I realized one of the things I've gotten better at the last couple of years, hiking wise, is just the toughening up of my feet and my joints and my muscles. I don't know that I'm getting a lot stronger as a hiker, but I'm getting better at the kind of almost unconscious part, the doing things without having to think about them consciously, in terms of foot placement and packing my gear and a lot of things. So you might be able to tell by my breathing, I'm going uphill a little bit here. This little hill climb at this quarry is one of the only climbs in our area. So that's part of why I like to come to this particular forest preserve. I was like catching sight of that little family farm over in the distance. Isn't that handsome? So the section to my left is a restored oak savanna, which is beautiful and in which I often see deer, but right now it's closed to hikers, so I'm staying on the main trail only to come across an oddity in the Kane County Forest Preserves. This is a pretty good sized blowdown that hasn't been cleared, and we have had some wind in the past week or even several days, but this looks like it's been down for a little while. That's an oak tree. It looks like it came off right at the roots. Root ball was a little bit shallow, maybe. I have reached my halfway point for today's hike. It's about 2.5 miles in. I wasn't really sure when I started how far I would go, but it's been a nice day. The sun is out. It's not too cold. I did slip on some mud and landed on my keister, but I didn't hurt anything or anything. Just a little embarrassing, a little muddy. But it's been a good hike, and I'm gonna sit here and have a snack, and then I'm gonna head back out toward Old Blue. Other than the birds, the sound of that train, it's the only noise I've heard today. It's nice and quiet out on trail. So I have a plan for training this year, which is different than the thing that I did last year. Last year I tried to hike underweight on and off once every couple of days in the run-up to going to trail. And as much as that worked, I think this year I've decided I'm going to try to hike some amount of distance every day. I'm using a step counter to do that. I'm trying to get to 15,000 steps every day, which is about 6.5 or 7 miles for me. And on some days, like today, I'm actually able to get out on a trail, as you can see, right there, when the weather's nice, and do a little bit more distance. So today I'll probably hit 20,000 steps or more, and I think this hike's going to end up being about 5 miles. And as you can see from my pack, I'm out with a pretty full pack on. It's about 20 pounds with 2 liters of water and a 3-day food supply. So anyway, that's my plan, is to clock or log 15,000 plus steps on average every day of the year. And today is the 8th of January. So far, I'm on track to do that. So I'm hoping that by logging 15 to 20,000 steps every day, I can keep the toughness on my joints and my soles of my feet up to snuff, and also just kind of get used to being out in the sun and carrying some weight every day, even if some days it's really just my 15 pound weighted vest or something like that. So anyway, that's my training plan for this year. I know I haven't put very many videos up this winter, but honestly, my training hikes, since I live in the Midwest, are all pretty much the same. So they look a lot like this. So I am going to put up a video. I've decided just once a week, kind of recapping the week. And then at some point before I hit the trail, I will do one complete gear video that captures what my going to trail setup is going to be. I think almost everything in my kit is pretty much set now, but I've changed 1 or 2 things from last year, and I've also shuffled back into my kit some wintertime stuff, since I'll be hiking in the very beginning of March. So y'all have